Are you telling me, as a journalist, the life of a future Prime Minister, the private life, is not, as a journalist, you're telling me it's not of interest?
Well, of course, things may be of interest. And yes, of course, Nick, and I readily accept that, and I understand that. And, newspapers and other media outlets, of course, are going to want to print and to speculate what they choose.
Would you have run the story? As editor of The Guardian, would you, God forbid, would you have run that story? Would you have run that story?
I'm not going to...
oh, come on, that's
I'm not going to comment on the integrity or the discretion of the editor of The Guardian, or indeed any other paper.
But would you run a story such as that?
What I will say is that, sitting on my side of the fence where I do now, what I won't do, and you and I actually have had this conversation over many years, because there have been many times when you've
never changed your tack.
You've bowled me some fast ones and said, come on, the public have a right to know. And I've said, well, actually, the difficulty is that the minute you say one thing, you obviously are bringing people, your loved ones, your family, into the public domain in a way that is not fair.
Then why the picture today?
Newspapers will print whatever they're going to print.
Well, where did it come from?
What I want to do is
Boris
talk
Johnson,
about...
where did the picture come
from? The longer we spend...
No, we'll come to that, don't worry. We've got 20 minutes to do this.
Well, then
we've got a couple. Where did the picture come from?
The longer we spend, on things extraneous...
Did you know of its publication?
The longer we spend on things extraneous to what I want to do for
Is
this
it actually you, or is it Ed Sheeran?
The bigger the waste of time.
Where has the picture come from?
Look, I'm not going to ask...
Are you happy with it in the majority of the front pages?
Actually, because I've been so busy, I've already given several speeches this morning, or at least one speech this morning. I haven't seen the majority of the front pages.
Well, I'm showing it to you now, so there we are. Are you happy with that?
I think the longer we spend... I can't determine what the newspapers decide to...
But you knew the picture was being put out there?
I can't determine what the newspapers
decide. That's a yes or no, and then we'll move on, Mr. Johnson.
I can't determine what the newspapers
decide. Did you know the picture... This has nothing to do with your... Did you know the picture was being put out there, Mr. Johnson?
There are all sorts of pictures of me out on the internet, which pop up from time to time.
Did you know this picture was being put out?
I am aware of all sorts of pictures of me out on the internet. It is entirely up to newspapers to decide what they want to print. But the longer we spend on this,
I'm guaranteeing you 20 minutes.
Let's get on.
I'm guaranteeing that. Did you know this picture was out there?
Of course, I knew that there was a picture like that in existence,
and you knew it was put out yesterday.
Whether it was the decision of the it's entirely up to newspapers to decide what they want to print.
When was it taken?
Well, I don't listen. So
that's a state secret.
You're asking me.
So that's a state secret when the picture was taken. So when was it taken?
It's not a state secret. It just happens to be something that I don't want to get into.
You won't even tell me when the picture was taken.
No, why should I?
Because it's not recent, is it? Your hair in this photograph is not your hair currently, is it?
If I may say so, this conversation is now descending into...
Well, I'll be the judge of that. Thank you. It's currently the Nick Ferrari show. Currently.
Actually...
If you come for this job, that might change as well. Who knows? But if the ball were to come out of the back of the scrum. This is quite an old picture, isn't it?
Nick, I'm not going to comment on the...
Well, it's before the haircut you had from the Turkish chap.
It would be... No, you're wrong about that, because I no longer have my hair... Unfortunately, I no longer have my hair cut by the Turkish chap. I have my hair cut by a very nice person called Kelly, or possibly tomorrow.
When did you last have your hair cut?
You have to ask Kelly, or tomorrow. It was quite recently, actually. Anyway,
what? 3 weeks? 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
Honestly, this is beyond satire. This is beyond satire. We have a fantastic prospect before us.
So this is at least 6 weeks old. This picture.
Mate, I'm not going to comment on the antiquity.
Can we get to the
provenance,
please, Mr.
I'm not going to comment on the antiquity or the provenance of some photo that newspapers decide to put on their front pages.
Should LGBTQ, who are part of our diverse society, be taught in all schools throughout the whole of the UK?
Kerry, I believe very strongly that people should be able to love whomsoever they choose, and that's the way we live our lives in the UK, and our country is all the greater for it. I do think that it's important that kids are taught about the world as it is, and so my short answer to you is yes.
So those classes should continue?
Well, I don't know which classes exactly.
Well, there's issues in Bern.
But if you're talking about the ones in Bern,
parents are wrong.
I think all schools have a responsibility to teach kids about the world as it is.
So the parents are wrong, the teachers are right.
I don't think kids should be unreasonably taken out of school. That's what I think.